Week 4. We're here. Remember, we didn't have a day 3 this week, so we're on Math Day 4, Lesson 13. And we are going to continue with our word problems. I know it got cut off there. And we're going to work on our problem set together and our homework section as well. So even though it does say homework, we're going to do that part together. So turn to page 13. Lesson 13. It should be the last page we pretty much left off on in class, and it says, do with me. So boys and girls, we're working with tape diagrams. And tape diagrams are nice visual representations to help us solve word problems. Now you're probably thinking, Mr. B, these word problems, they're so easy, I can do them myself. I get it. They're easy right away. They're going to get difficult. They're going to be 2 to 3, and yes, even sometimes 4-step word problems, especially when we get into multiplying and dividing. So make sure that you understand the concept of tape diagrams, and that's why I drew a lot of these out for you, because having you guys draw them, I'm not quite sure you're going to draw them the way I want you to. So at least most of these are going to have them. So let's go to our first one. The artist Michelangelo, not the Ninja Turtle, but the artist Michelangelo was born on March 6, 1475. Author Mem Fox was born on March 6th, same day, but 1946. How many years after Michelangelo was Mem Fox born? So notice how Michelangelo is obviously going to be a lot older, but we have Mem Fox's year, 1946, up top, and we have Michelangelo's year down below. And that's going to give us our missing piece to our link here. So we're going to go ahead and line this up. Big number on top, and we're going to subtract. That's the difference. Going down, 6 minus 5 is 1. I have to regroup here, so I'm going to give 10, take away 1. Now I have 14 minus 7, which is 7, and 8 minus 4, which is 4. So my answer is how many years? 471 years. Now in math, a lot of times I like to check my work. So I'm going to take, okay, if the year is 1475, the year Michelangelo was born, and I added 471 years, I should get the year Mem Fox was born. And then I'm going to put a check mark, and then circle my answer and be done with this question. 5 plus 1 is 6. 7 and 7 is 14. 4 and 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9, 1 and 0. Booyah. Nice little sound effect there if you want. I didn't put commas on these guys because these were the years. Normally we don't put commas on years, but there's my answer. 471 years. All right, one-step problem, pretty simple. Next one, during the month of March, 68,025 pounds of king crab were caught. There's my total. There's my big total up top. The whole month, they had 68,025 pounds of king crab. If 15,614 pounds were caught in the first week of March, it's my first week, how many pounds were caught in the rest of the month, which would be about another 3 more weeks. That's why I put another 3. Notice my variable. My variable here is A. That means my unknown. So I don't know how many pounds of king crab were caught in the other 3 weeks. So I'm going to take 68,000, 25, and again, making sure that you're copying right is also part of the problem. The amount of times that kids draw a 4 and it looks like a 9 or a 0 and it ends up looking like a 6. Take your time out of your busy day and make a nice, neat number. 5 minus 4 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Now I get to where I have to regroup. Give 10. Take away 1. 10 minus 6 is 4. 7 minus 2 is 5. And 6 minus 1 is, 7 minus 5 is 2. 6 minus 1 is 5, giving me 52,411 pounds of king crab. Now again, I'm going to check my work. It is a good thing to do because it checks and makes sense of the question, and it also checks to make sure your math is accurate. So I'm going to take 15,614. That's how many pounds of king crab were caught the first month or the first week. And then I'm going to take the rest of the weeks, and it should, if I did everything right, give me 68,025. 4 plus 1, 5. 1 plus 1, 2. 6 and 4, 10. Carry my 1. 5, 6, 7, 8. And 6. 68,025. Booyah. That's exactly how much we have. And I'm going to say pounds in the rest of the month. Okay, again, I know this is simple, guys. These are all one-step word problems. I would love to tell you that we're going to have one-step word problems the rest of the year. We won't. We'll be getting multi-step word problems. So it's understanding our tape, understanding our math, understanding the check. Okay? Next one, James bought a used car. After driving exactly 9,050 miles, the odometer, which is the fancy thing that tells you how many miles are on the car, read 118,064 miles. What was the odometer reading when James bought the car? So his odometer is going to obviously read something less than this number because he himself put 9,050 miles on his car. So notice my label's getting a little bit different here, guys. I like to sometimes just shift it here, this one, shift it here. You're going to see my tape diagrams, roughly have a couple labels here. They're quick, they're easy to go. Okay, I need to subtract these two numbers. All right, so let's go 118,064 miles. Definitely a used car. And we're going to subtract 9,050 that he drove, and we're going to find out how many miles were on this car when he bought it. So we're going to go 4 minus 0, 4, 6 minus 5, 1, 0 minus 0, 0. Now, we can't do this one here. Now, a lot of kids will go, give 10, regroup. But if you see an 18 here, 18 minus 9, you could just go ahead and do that. But if you want to, watch what I told you, you're still left with 18 minus 9. Okay, so that would be a 9, and then this would be a 0, and then there's my 1. So my answer, I had 109,014 miles on the odometer when he bought the car. Let's see if that makes sense. If he had 109,014 miles in the car, and he drove 9,050, well, he should have this amount. Again, checking my work, doing the reverse operation. Checking my work. 4, 6, 0, 8 and 8, 9 and 9 is 18. Carry the 1. 118,064. Booyah. And I'm going to say miles on odometer when he bought car. Okay, good work. Let's flip it over. Couple more. Again, we have just these 3 more to do. And then you guys have just this one page for your assignment day 4. Don't do this. This is the last lesson here. The word problems get a little different. But this is, this is your assignment that you're going to do after me. Notice there's only one word problem. The rest is just practicing. You have to regroup when you need to regroup. Okay? Do not come back with this page and there's no regrouping. Remember, we always go down when we're subtracting. So let's finish off these questions here. An elementary school collected 1,705 bottles for a recycling program. A high school collected some more bottles. Both schools, here's our total, collected 3,627 bottles. How many bottles did the high school collect? So I'm going to have to subtract these two numbers to figure out how much the high school collected. There's regrouping involved in this one, so there's a 2, there's a 2. I have to regroup here, give 10, take away 1. Look at your doubles here, doubles plus or minus 1. You know 7 and 7 is 14. So if you know 7 and 7 is 14, 7 and 9 will give me 16 because 16 is 2 more than 14. Okay, or you could do it on your 9 strict if you know your 9 strict very well, which is drop 1, add a 1. Drop 1, become a 6, add a 1 in front of it. And then 2 minus 1, 1. So let's check that. Let's take our elementary. Let's take our high school. And let's add all these cans together. That's a 7, that's a 2, that's a 16. Carry the 1, giving me a grand total of 3,627 cans. Booyah. That's correct. And I'm going to say cans at high school. All right, circle that question. Let's move on. A computer shop sold $356,291 worth of computers, and accessories. So I put an A for here, which we already have, and a C for my computer. It sold $43,720 worth of accessories. So out of this money, they didn't spend a lot on accessories. Accessories would be like your mouse pads, and I'm sure some wires and things you would hook up your computer with, maybe some headphones or something. Your computer is going to be the big part of this puzzle. So notice how the little part, I have the smaller number, and the big part is going to be a big number here. So let's figure it out. $356,291. Subtract $43,720. Again, always want to make sure that you're copying right. Nothing worse than doing all this work and you copied the number wrong or sloppy and then you can't read it right. 1, 7. I'm going to have to regroup here in my hundreds place. Give 10, take away 1. Now that's a 5. 5 and 7 is 12. That's a 2. There's a 1. There's a 3. So let's check my work. Let's see if they sold $312,571 worth of computers and $43,720 worth of accessories. It should give me that grand total. 1 plus 0, 1. 7 and 2, 9. 7 and 5, that's the drop 1, or excuse me, that's the doubles plus or minus 1 or 2. So if I know 7 and 7 is 14, 2 less would be 12. 5, 6, 5, 3, 356,291. Booyah. Let's go on and let's write down worth of computers. All right, again, these are all one-steppers, boys and girls. I would love to tell you that, oh my gosh, these are going to be all one-steps and these are going to be the easiest word problems of your life. No, they're going to get difficult quick. They're going to be two-steppers. In fact, tomorrow's video, we're going right into two-step word problems. So these ones, I have a blank line. I want you to fill them out. Pause the tape, read it, pause it, unpause me when you haven't filled out. Okay, so hopefully you realize the total amount of population in this city was 538,381. That's my big number. 148,170 are children. I'm going to put a little C here for children, and then we don't know the adults. Obviously, there's going to be more adults than there are children here because this is 148. This is going to be a lot bigger because we need to get it to 538. Okay, so let's go ahead. 538,381. Subtract 148,170. All right? Like these because there's not a lot of regrouping in them either. I mean, this one, love it. Look at that. We just flew down those because there's no regrouping. Just got to regroup here in my 10,000s place. Give 10, take away 1. So let's do our 9 strict again. 9 and 4 I know is 13, and that'd be 3. Okay, so let's check ourselves. If there's 390,211 adults, and let's add the children, it should give me my grand total population. 1, 8, 3, 8, 13, 538, 381. Check, and I'm going to say adults. That's the end of our video. Kept it under 15 for you. See you again tomorrow for more word problems. They will be harder.